SGC here, and we are back for a movie review. Triple Threat. So this isn't Triple Frontier starring all those other dudes on Netflix, but Triple Threat starring Tony Jaa, Tiger Chen, and Iko Uwais. Yeah, and it's directed by Jesse V. Johnson, who you might have heard of from The Debt Collector, which is a 2018 Netflix release, Accident Man, Savage Dog. I heard Savage Dog is supposed to be pretty good, so I'm definitely going to check it out. Returning, we also have Scott Adkins, who's actually been working with Jesse Johnson for a while now. And we have Celina Jade, the female lead from Wolf Warrior 2. Whoa, did not see that coming. Like, watching that and then watching a new movie with her in it. Fight choreographer is Tim Mann, who's worked on Accident Man and stuff that I haven't seen, but he has worked on stunts, so he knows what he's doing in terms of stunts. But actual choreo, Anyways, so what's it about? Basically, it's about three guys. Two guys who are partners. We have Tony Jaa and Tiger Chen being like set up, and then Iko Uwais also set up in a different way, and then things happen, and Scott Adkins like the bad guy and trying to like kill this Celina Jade woman, and then all of a sudden just things come together, and the three of them somehow end up protecting and then ending up fighting Scott Adkins and his team, and that's basically the entire film. What did I think? Well, first off, when this was first announced, I was excited in terms of just having Tony Jaa, Tiger Chen, and Iko Uwais on the same screen. I mean, the three of them has solo movies. It's sort of like an Avengers kind of thing in terms of martial arts. Like, I haven't seen any Tiger Chen's films, but I knew Tiger Chen was the real deal. He knew how to fight. So there's that. Now, going in with that expectation, and having The Night Comes For Us coming out with Iko, I was like, oh, so pumped. And then also watching Wolf Warrior 2 prior to this, I was also pumped to just see some like actual decent fight choreography. But then I forgot. This movie is on demand. So the fact that it's on demand and it had a one-day limited release in theaters, I had much more higher expectations, and hopefully you watching this sets a real expectation for this film. So what is the expectation? Now, don't think The Raid 2, or even The Night Comes For Us, but rather on back, less replays, and a much more convoluted story. Now, granted, I feel like I like this a lot more because I just watched Wolf Warrior 2, and that was a gong show in its own right in terms of just the whole explosion spectacle, and less on the whole martial arts stuff. So this was a welcome treat. Granted, it felt like a Wolf Warrior-esque story, as in they try to make it convoluted and try to make you care, and you don't really care. But granted, I do give it props for setting up these characters where they're constantly not wanting to fight. They are a fugitive, and they get thrown into situations, and they just want to leave. They're like, fight, 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 but let's get out of here, instead of fight, 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 let me kick your ass. So that's the biggest difference in terms of that. And there's a lot of less thug fighting, as in, if you watch Night Comes For Us, I forgot his other name. I forgot his name, but the main character in that fights tons of thugs in these brutal, bloody, gory scenes. But here, it's like, I think there was only one scene where they fight like no names and they all get owned, but it's not really that special in a sense. But here, I would say the one-on-one fights are done really well in terms of just showcasing who these martial artists are. Granted, this is more of an action plus martial art film rather than a martial art film. I definitely would not call this a martial art film because there's just not that much fighting. I mean, there is, but in a sense, there's much more shootouts than I expected. And I don't know, like, now that I think about it, there is martial arts fighting happening, but I wouldn't necessarily call it a martial arts film. Like, The Raid is a martial arts film. The Night Comes For Us, Hero, like, that's a martial arts film where the emphasis is more on that and the story is rather simple. But here, there's a whole conspiracy behind everything. We have Scott Adkins and his team fighting, like there's a conspiracy, them, like, taking out Celina Jade's character, and then there's like something higher up happening just to pressure them. Like, I feel like the pressure was kind of like, we didn't need that. We didn't need that arc where you have to like see Scott Adkins sort of frustrated with him and his deadline. You can easily have just wrote that into his character where he just wanted to finish a job. So there's that. In terms of character, I think they're different. They're definitely different from what's been coming out lately in terms of just straight up fighting characters. Tony Jaa's like a cook, and there's like a nice scene where he's just cooking and enjoying himself. So it's nice to see Tony Jaa in a more happy role and like just take it easy, but still we're gonna kick some ass kind of role. Iko is much more emotional than his other previous roles. I mean, the raid, he's just lost and angry, if I remember correctly, and then in The Night Comes For Us, he's just cocky, and here he's just a lot of just revenge type of thing. The raid is more reactionary in terms of the story plot, but here it's like, Iko, his wife dies in the very beginning, and that sort of sets him off to this whole movie. So yeah, I mean, basically, it could have been a lot better in terms of just straight up action and martial arts. There was this nice scene in the beginning where Iko fights Tiger Chen, and that's pretty badass, but for some reason it felt very choreographed, and even Tony Jaa, sort of like his signature Muay Thai moves, felt very choreographed. And maybe it's just me being much more comfortable with Celette, with Iko's fighting style in terms of the raid or The Night Comes For Us, where it's just so brutal and just kinetic and it just explodes. And then when you see like these moves done in this movie, it just feels like they're just actually showcasing it. And that's just unfortunate that they couldn't have shot it in a way where it felt authentic to the character, but at the same time showcase. I think On Back did a good performance of balancing that. I mean, I can't say anything for 2 and 3, but in 1, I'm pretty sure it just felt like character-driven fight sequences, and just like, granted, it is showing off him, but at the same time, it doesn't get in the way because it is crazy, those stunts that he pulls off in On Back. And yeah, Celina Jade's character, I mean, like, she has a lot more lines than I thought, and they really try to push for that storyline about the whole her trying to sort of clamp down on like crime in the area, and I guess sure gives you more of a drive to sort of see what happens, but it's like, come on, you know why people are watching your film, and it's for the 3 leads. And I sort of wish there was much more fighting involved. I mean, even at the end, there was one-on-one fight, and it could have been a cool team-up fight, and it just ended really like poorly, and just like, dang. So it reminded me of Shanghai Nights, where it's like, instead of punching the crap out of Donnie Yen, we shoot him with a rocket, like that kind of ending, and it was just like a bummer. So overall, I mean, On Demand, it's like something you watch and you just sort of forget. Go ahead and watch it, and just, unless like you don't want to break that mold of like, oh, that perfect film that could have been. Because seriously, if the 3 of them come back together, I sort of wish it's just straight up fighting, and it's just like assassins versus assassin, or just straight up having the 3 of them going super brutal on people, and that was it. So there you go. Anyways, that's it for this movie review for Triple Threat. Triple Frontier is coming up soon. Hopefully soon than later. Anyways, keep liking, keep watching, and remember to subscribe and share, because sharing is caring. Anyway, that's it. Later.